All Academy. Always with you.
Hello my dear students, welcome to this online video lecture on elements of mechanical engineering. So in the previous session we have discussed the very important topics on the solar energy, that is types of solar energy conversion process. In that we have discussed heliochemical process and helioelectrical process and the different types involved in these two processes in details. And in today's session we're going to discuss about the last type process, that is a heliothermal process, and in that one we're going to discuss the flat plate collector, concentrating collector and the solar pond and their advantages and disadvantages in details. So without wasting much time, let us begin with the today's session. Now in the previous session, as we already discussed the two types of process, that is a heliochemical process and a helioelectrical process. In a chemical process, the sunlight energy influences to have an electrochemical reaction, and in a second one, that is helioelectrical process, the solar energy is utilized to generate the electricity or electric energy. So in this process, in a heliothermal process, the radiant energy falling on the surface placed on the earth, means in this process the surface is used and it is placed on the earth surface, so whatever energy falling on this surface in the form of visible light is directly converted into thermal energy. Means in a heliothermal process I required a surface on which this sunlight is made to fall. Means sunlight will be falling on the earth surface and I need to keep a surface in between this earth and the sunlight, so that whatever the sunlight falling on this surface, that will directly convert into thermal energy. And the surface which is used to absorb this sun rays or solar rays are called collectors. It is called a collector. As the name indicates, it should collect the whatever radiations falling on that surface, it should collect it. So that's why the surface is called as a collector. Now generally there are two types of collectors. So there are two types of collector. So that one is a non-concentrating or a flat plate collector, and another one is a concentrating type or a parabolic focusing collector. So there are two types. One is non-concentrating or concentrating. So this non-concentrating is also called as a flat. Non-concentrating means non-concentrating. So it means it should be a flat. Okay. And whatever the amount of radiations which is falling on this surface, means whatever the radiations which is falling on these surface, either on a flat surface or on a concentrating surface, so that is called as a solar insolation. It is called as a solar insolation. Whatever the rays or whatever radiation falling on the surface, it is called solar insolation. Now the total solar insolation on the earth surface is composed of a direct component called beam radiation. So it will be, one is a direct radiation or diffuse. You all know that how the whatever sun energy is coming, means the radiations coming out. So there will be different types. One is a reflected radiation, direct radiation, diffused radiation. So it will be so it is mainly used the beam radiation, means the direct radiation, and diffused component. So it uses the beam radiation as well as the diffused radiation to convert into heat energy or to convert into thermal energy. Now among these concentrators there are two types, as I already said. One is a flat plate and another one is a concentrating. So let us discuss these two types in detail. And the first type is a flat plate collector. As the name indicates, so whatever the surface on which this sunlight is falling, it is completely flat. As I am highlighting here, you can see this one. It is a completely flat surface on which this sunlight will fall. So it is a plain flat surface over which the sunlight is placed. And this flat plate is a blackened sheet metal. It is of a blackened sheet metal which is used to absorb the solar radiation. It is used to absorb the solar radiation. Please note that it is a blackened sheet. It is used to absorb all the solar radiation which is falling on this surface. Now this blackened sheet is having a good property of absorbing the sunlight. So such sheets are used as a blackened sheets. The sheets which is having good absorbing properties are used as a sunlight or blackened sheets, and it should also convert these absorbed rays into heat. So along with this absorption, it should convert these absorbed radiation into heat. Now the heat generated is subsequently transferred to the other fluids. So the whatever heat is generated, that is used, means that is transferred to subsequently other fluids. Here you can see this one, when this sun radiation falls, so this absorbs. The first one is a absorbing plate, so that is absorbed. Then it will transfer that heat to the consecutive, means the some water tubes or fluids will be allowed to pass through this one. So that heat energy, whatever heat is there, so that will be transferred to the other fluids like air or water. Now the losses can be minimized, means obviously when there is a heat generation, means there will be some losses, and these losses are minimized by blackened sheet, by placing the blackened sheet of metal in a closed thermal insulated box. Means to increase the efficiency of this one, so the whole box is made into insulation. It is insulated so that the thermal, whatever the radiation or whatever the heat energy is produced, that should not come out from this one. So it is thermally insulated. It is completely closed thermally insulated box, and having a top covered with a transparent glass sheet, as you can see this one. So above it is a glass sheet which is covered, and along with that glass sheet, the sunlight will passes through and they will hit the absorber plate, and absorber absorbs all the sunlight which is falling on it, and it will convert into heat, and that heat is transferred to consecutive fluids like air or water, and the surface is insulated. Here you can see this one. So it is insulated one. Now one more important, why the angle is shown. You may have a question that flat plate means I should keep it as in a flat. So why it is kept at certain angle means, so whatever radiations is coming out, that should be completely utilized, because sun will be moving at certain, after every moment it will be changing its location. For that purpose, so we need to place it in a certain angle so that the maximum radiation will be falling on this surface. Now by coating along with this one, so to avoid the losses, by coating absorbing surfaces with a selective coating substances, means to have more absorbing surfaces, we should coat these surfaces which is having a high absorptiveness, means which have a high absorptive capacity in the short wavelength regions and low emissivity in the long wavelengths. So such a substances we need to use, and we need to coat them inside this box. In the region, the radiation losses from the absorbing surfaces may be reduced. By doing this coating, we can reduce the radiation loss. So how the radiation losses are eliminated in the flat plate collector? By coating the substances which is having a high absorbivity in a shorter wavelength, and which is have low emissivity in the long wavelength. By using such a materials, we need to coat it to reduce the radiation losses. Now the application of flat plate collectors are the cooking, water heater, drying of food grains, vegetables, desalination of water. So these are the few examples of water. Here I am showing a simple diagram how this complete process will take place. So as the sunlight falls on this flat surface, here you can see this one, as sunlight falls on this one, so immediately it absorbs all the radiation and convert that into heat, and that heat so is transferred to the cold fluid, so which is circulating, and that heat is absorbed by the fluid, and it will fed to a container, hot water container. So this is about the simple figure that shows a solar water heater. Now here is a complete figure that tells you the solar water heating process. And this you can see, this is very commonly seen in all the homes at the top floor. Okay, so in most of the examination this question is asked with a neat sketch, explain the solar water heater system or solar water heating process. So this is how is there. So what happens, the cold water supply will be given, and here you can see the container. This is a hot water tank. So this water is fed and passed along with these tubes. These are the absorbing tubes. These are the absorbing tubes which is having a good absorbing property of whatever sunlight is there, and that absorbing, along with that absorption, they will transfer the heat into these water, and these hot water again it will be supplied and stored in this storage tank whenever I required. So along with this tap, another pipe is hot water pipe is there, so that is utilized for any domestic or any other applications. So this is how the simple solar water heater looks, and this question is asked for 8 marks and sometimes it is asked for a 10 marks. So you need, and sometimes they ask directly with a neat sketch, explain flat plate heat collector. You should draw the diagrams whichever I have shown in the previous slide. You need to draw that one and explain the terms, how that is used, how the conversion takes place. The next one is a in focusing collector. The next type is a focusing collector, okay, which is also known as a concentrating collector. It is also known as a concentrating collector. It is also known as a parabolic collector. So in a focusing collector, a mirror or lens system is used to increase the intensity of a solar radiation, because it is in a curved surface. It is in a curved surface. So whatever, if I place all the surface, if I made mirror, if I use mirrors, if I apply on this one, so again it will increases the intensity of mirror. So the mirrors are used to increase the intensity of solar radiation, because obviously this when sunlight falls on this one, so they will reflect. So that reflection will give or increases the intensity of solar radiation. And generally the parabolic reflector of either cylindrical shape or a spherical shape are employed to focus the incident radiation. So here you can see this one, how the parabolic collector will be there. So the intercept and the concentrate only the direct rays of the sun, and hence they do not perform satisfactorily when the sky is cloud. Means these focusing type of collector or the parabolic collector, they use the direct rays, whatever direct rays coming out from the sun. So they use only these rays to convert into thermal energy. Because of that, they do not perform well compared to the flat plate collector. That's why these solar water heaters are made of flat instead of going in this manner. So in this thing, whatever you are seeing inside here, the mirrors will be placed. So here whatever I am highlighting with the highlighter, here it is completely made of a mirror to increase the intensity of solar radiation. And when all the radiation falls on that one, due to its reflexive property, they will concentrate. So all the radiation will going to concentrate at this line. Here I am showing with the green color line. No, they will hit this point, and the heat is transferred. And this is how this parabolic parabolic collector will be working. Now in a focusing collector, it requires the tracking system. So that is also very important. It requires the tracking system, because so it should have to rotate itself as the sunlight will changes its direction. Means as the earth rotates, obviously the sunlight falling on the surface will going to changes its angle. So we need in focusing collector, it should have a tracking system to have the direct read, as it takes the only direct rays from the sun. So it should be tilted, the parabolic should be tilted with a tracking system. The concentrated narrow focused beam is absorbed by the receiver placed at the focus. As I said, no, so it absorbs only the focused beams, so that to receive maximum focused beam, it should have a tracking system. Now the focusing plat collectors are used for high temperature heating applications for the industry purpose. For industrial purpose, domestically these are not so sufficient. These are used for high temperature heating applications for the domestic or industrial applications. Here you can see this one, the actual figure how it will looks like. So as I said, no, there is completely inside surface is completely with the mirrors that will concentrate at a single point. As the reflection takes place, so it will concentrate at a single point, and when all the radiation meet at a one point, means at that particular point it will have a high temperature. So that's why these are more preferred in a industrial applications. The next very important process in the thermal, that is heliothermal process, is a solar pond. Okay, so the whatever figure you are observing, so this is a solar pond. So what is this solar pond? A solar pond is a pool of a salt water which collects and stores the solar thermal energy. So what is this solar pond? It is a pond which is having a salt water and it collects the solar energy, and also it will store this solar thermal energy. Now the salt water naturally forms the vertical salinity gradient and also known as which is also known as alkalines. This is so we all know that naturally they will form the vertical salinity, in which the low salinity of water floats at the top of a high salinity water. Means, so the salinity means the high concentrated water, salt water, so they will settle down and the low contained salt water will flow at the top. And in a solar pond you will find three different layers. So in the solar, this is a simple figure about the solar pond. So you will find three different layers. The upper layer is known as an upper convective zone, and the middle one is known as an non-convective zone, and third one is known as a lower convective zone. And this is a three different layers. As it will goes on from top to bottom, the salinity of water will decreases. Okay. Now, by virtue of having a built-in thermal energy storage, it can be used for irrespective of a time and season, because it can store, it can absorb, as well as it can store the energy, means so it can be used irrespective of a time and the season, Now let us see how it works, the solar pond works. Now in the ordinary ponds or a lake, when the sun rays heat up the water, this heated water being lighter will raises the surface and loses its heat to the atmosphere. Obviously, when you heat anything, means its density will going to decrease. As the density decreases, means the lower density liquid will come upwards and higher density liquid comes downwards. And during this conversion, so whatever heated water is there, no, so that heat is liberated, that heat is supplied, that heat is lost to the atmosphere. Now the net result in this, that the pond water remains nearly atmospheric temperature, means whatever atmospheric temperature is there, no, so that will remains same. The solar pond technology inhabits this phenomena by dissolving the salt into the bottom layer. Please note that by dissolving the salt into the bottom layer of this pond, making it too heavy to raise the surface even when hot. Means, so whatever there is, no, if I put a dissolving salts into the bottom layer, making it too heavy to raise the surface, means, so whatever as we know that the heated surface will flow upwards. So if I make the salt content added in this, means that will becomes much more denser, and that will remains at the bottom of a layer even though it is too hot. Now the salt concentration increases with the depth, thereby forming the salinity gradient. As I said, no, as you go in a depth, the salt concentration will increases and they form the salinity gradient. Now the sunlight which reaches the bottom of a pond remains entrapped there only. Means whatever sunlight it is falling on this surface, whatever sunlight it is falling and which is reaching at the bottom of this surface, that is entrapped there itself, because the sunlight it is absorbed by the water, but due to the higher density of this salt water, that does not flow upwards or that does not move upward. Now the useful thermal energy is withdrawn from the solar pond in the form of a hot brain. So here you can see this in the form of hot brain. So this, whatever the stored solar energy is there in the form of heat, that can be extracted in the form of hot brain. Now this is how the whatever the solar energy is there, that is extracted from the solar pond. Now let us look into the some of the advantages and disadvantages of a solar pond. The first advantage of a solar pond is low investment cost per installation area, means it requires very less. Already if the pond is there, I need to create only the lower layer with a higher concentration. Now the thermal energy is incorporated into collector and is very low cost, means the thermal storage is incorporated into the collector. Along with the collector, it acts as a thermal storage, so that will reduces the cost. Now the diffusion radiation is fully used, means whatever diffused radiation is there, even that is utilized in this solar pond. Now the very large surface can be built, thus the large scale energy generation is possible. Pond means this will be having a larger area, I can create a large area. So when larger the area means absorbing will be more, so that will help us to encash, or that will help us to produce the more energy. Now expensive cleaning or large collector surface in the dust area is avoided. Means when compared to other energy absorbing, so there will be dust formation, all those problems will be there, and cleaning should be made continuously. So such problems are not be seen in the solar pond. So let us look into the disadvantages of a solar pond. So the large land area requirement is often deterrent, means so in some restricted areas, so I may not get the sufficient areas. So that is a one drawback. Even though I can have a more area, but that may be not possible in all the localities. The surface water keeps evaporating and needs to be replaced periodically. That is a major problem in this solar pond. So because of the higher temperature, this will be continuously evaporating, and whatever the upper surface is there, so that should be replaced continuously. That is a one major drawback. The next one, another drawback of this solar pond is large supply of water is needed. So when the upper surface continuously evaporating, means the larger supply should be included. The next, care has to be taken to removing of preventing the algae. Obviously when there is a water, means there will be generation of algae. So that should be avoided by taking care, by avoiding the generation of an algae growth, so that it can, whatever energy, whatever sunlight falling on this water surface, that should reach the lower bottom layer which is having a high concentration. So this is a one major drawback of this solar pond. So these are the few advantages and disadvantages of a solar pond. And here are the few questions. With a neat sketch, explain the solar flat plate. So this question may be asked for 10 marks or 8 marks. And another one question is with a neat sketch, with the advantage, list the advantages and disadvantages of a solar flat plate. Then with a neat sketch, explain the parabolic collector. So this question is asked for 8 marks. With a neat sketch, explain solar water heater. Please note that solar flat plate collector, you need to explain the principle. If solar water heater asked, means you need to draw the figure, tube arrangements, water storage, all those things you need to write it and explain how the solar water is, the process of solar water heater. Now with a neat sketch, explain the solar pond, which we have already discussed. So which will consist 3 different layers, and the lower layer will be having a higher concentration with the salt, that will stores the energy which is sunlight falling on that one, and that energy is extracted in the form of the hot drain. Okay. The last one is the list out the advantages and disadvantages of a solar pond. This may be asked for 6 or 8 marks. So these are the few questions on the topic we have discussed. So okay, my dear students, so whatever topics we have discussed on the heliothermal process, that is the solar flat plate collector and parabolic collector, hope it is clear to you people. If you are finding any difficulties in this topic, you can comment it in a comment box and we'll try to clarify your doubts.
Click on subscribe button and press the bell icon to get updates from All Academy.